So what is a chain? A chain is basically a 4-strand braid, and you have your 4 strands with 2 pairs, and it's cross and twist, cross and twist, and over and over and over again, cross, twist, cross, twist. If you are working with or if you're used to using numbers instead of cross twist, 1 2 3 4, it's 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, 2 over 3. So cross twist, over and over and over and over and over, and you get this chain. So what is a windmill crossing? A windmill crossing is when you have 4 pairs that need to cross. So you can see here I'm making a chain stitch and it needs to continue, and this chain stitch needs to continue, but I need to cross these in order for that to happen. And so what happens is we treat each of the pairs as if they're one together, and we do our cross twist cross. So this is 1 2 3 and 4, and I'm going to do 2 over 3, and you can see I'm bringing 3 underneath like this, and then 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, and then I pin, and then 2 over 3, and now they're continuing on their path, and they've overlapped each other. And what is a 4-knot? A 4-knot is your basic friendship bracelet knot. So this one is not on a bobbin, and it looks like a 4. And you go underneath and you pull that thread through here, inside that triangle of the 4, and pull it up. That's a 4-knot. So this is the 4. It goes through that loop that you created on the body of the 4 and pull it up. That's a 4-knot. I'm going to use this really pretty DMC Diamant for my thread for this bracelet. And we actually don't need this pattern yet, because the first thing we're going to do is the part where it's beaded, this strand here, we're going to make that separately and work it into our design as we go. So I actually need that first. So I'm going to take this away and just place a pin, and I'm going to hang my pre-measured thread for the beaded chain, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, the length that you want on your threads is enough for the end that you're tying, plus the body, plus the other end that you're going to tie on the other end of the bracelet. And so we're starting here with a simple chain, and I have my 2 pairs. So this is 1 pair, and I'm going to twist. This is a 2nd pair, and I twist. And then to do a chain stitch, you cross, twist, cross, and twist. Cross, twist, cross, and twist. And that is it. You just do that over and over and over again. So if you were working with numbers, it's 1 2 3 4, 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, 2 over 3, and then 2 and 4 go back over 1 and 3. Cross, twist, cross, twist, cross, twist, cross, twist, cross, twist, cross, twist. And you're going to do this for the entire length of the thread that you have measured. As I go, because I'm working on a long piece, I just pin it up and hold it out of the way. Now I'm at the very, very end, and so I'm going to take one of my bobbins off. Oop, there goes another one. And I'm going to tie the end right there. And I don't need these bobbins on at all now. So that end is tied. I can move these pins out of the way. And I have this chain. And I'm going to bead it. So I use a beading needle because it's easier to get the thicker threads through that needle. And I'm going to use these really pretty check glass beads. And I'm just going to bead all of these on. The pattern has 10 bead spots, but I only have 8 of these beads, so I'm gonna skip 2 of the bead spots. So I'm gonna just get all of these on. I have all of my beads on, and for the bottom, because you don't want your beads to fall off, you want to tie a really big knot, or what I do is I just have this here on my desk, so I always tie this on to the end and I can snip it off later, and that way the beads aren't going to fall right off of the end as I'm working. So these are here, and I have placed a pin through the top, and I'm going to measure about 6 inches above the pattern, and keeping in mind how long I want the tie of the bracelet to be. So I want it to be like at least this, but maybe more. So I'm gonna leave it really long there at the top. And now I'm going to place all of the rest of the threads that I need in order to work this pattern. I'm gonna loop them over that top pin. Okay, I've looped over 8 threads, and I'm going to grab all of them, including that chain. And right here where that first pin is going to be, that's about where I want to try to get my first knot. And I'm just doing a regular little 4 knot. You can also knot the whole thing, like one big knot with all of the threads. But because this is how I'm ending it, I want it to look the same. So I'm going to do a series of 4 knots. Okay, and now I'm going to place a pin, and I want half of these. I want 4 and 4, or 8 and 8, is that right? 8 and 8. So I want half on one side and half on the other side. But it's okay if you don't get it perfectly the first time. Just kind of eyeball it, stick in your pin. And now we're going to start loading our bobbins on. And so I do one on one side and one on the other, so that the weight of the bobbins doesn't pull too much on one side. So here's one bobbin. Whoop. And then I go to the other side. And I use washi tape. I'm sure if you follow me, you know I use washi tape, especially when I'm using really thin threads and I've measured a specific amount. And I know I'm going to work right up to the very, very end of that thread. And then I go back to the other side. And so I'm going to load all of these up with their bobbins now. Okay, so I have all of my bobbins loaded up, and I'm going to start on this side. You can start on the other side, it doesn't matter. And we have 8 on each side, and at this very just the first little bit of the chain, we're going to treat each pair as if it's 1. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do a chain stitch. So it's 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, 2 over 3, and then 2 and 4 back over 1 and 3. So simple chain stitch, 2 over 3, and we just want to go as far as that first pin. I need to go a little bit more, so I'm going to chain stitch again until I'm there. Now these are now individual pairs, and they're going to create this line. and these are individual pairs, and they're creating that curve. So it is going to depend a little bit. The number of stitches that you do depends on the kind of thread that you're using, the thickness of the thread. So I can't give you an exact number, but I can just show you what's working for me with this particular thread. And with this thickness, I'm going to chain stitch and then kind of get these out of my way, but I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how I counted in my head. And then I'm going to make, see, these pinholes are not indicated, but these pinholes are going to hold this thread in that curve. So they're temporary pins, and there's like spacer pins just to make sure that that holds the right shape. I'm gonna go, I'll zoom in on the other side once I get to the other side so you can see. And then this, you need to do as many crosses and twists as necessary to get to that first pin in the middle, that cross there. So for me, it has been 3, 1, 2, 3, and now I'm there. And I'm going to set all of these off to the side. This one can come up and over. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I need to do the same thing. I need to treat these as each pair as one pin and chain stitch down to that first pinhole. So 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, 2 over 3, and 2 and 4 over 1 and 3. So cross, twist, cross, and twist. And now I'm going to place that pin. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in a bit here. Now, these on the outside are what I'm using to create this outside edge right now. And these on the inside are going to come to this first pin. And so, as I was saying, for me, it's usually 1, 2, 3. And then I'm in the middle. So now, how do we incorporate this chain into that design? Because we're going to do a windmill crossing. And it's quite simple. So keep this one right in the middle. And again, because we have multiple pairs, we're treating them, I'm going to zoom back out. Multiple pairs are crossing each other, so we're treating this as 1, these 2, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. And we're moving this over that chain, and 2 goes over 3. 2 and 4 go over 1 and 3, and then we lift this up, and 2 goes over 3 underneath. I'll show you that a few more times. Okay. And now I'm going to chain stitch down, and for me it's been 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to do a windmill crossing, just a regular windmill crossing. 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, here's the pin, pin, 2 over 3. Okay, tension, make sure everything's nice and laying where you want it to be. I'm going to 1, 2, 3, and now I'm ready to get to that next pinhole. And now I'm going to go back to the other side. 1, 2, 3. And I'm ready to get to that side pinhole. And on this side it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to make these spacer pins, temporary pins. And I'm going to do a windmill crossing. 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, pin, 2 over 3. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, and I'm ready to do the next windmill crossing right in the middle with that chain. I'm going to zoom in again. Okay, so let's do it with a pin this time. So I've brought this pairs over, and it goes 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, and now I'm going to pin. But I'm not touching that chain, just so you know. I'm not touching that chain, but I'm pinning right next to it. And then I lift the chain up and I bring 2 over 3 underneath. Okay, and then tension everything. And I'm going to do a chain stitch, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to chain stitch this outside edge, but I want those spacer pins that are going to hold that curve on the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spacer pins, spacer pin, and now my windmill crossing. So 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, pin, 2 over 3, and tension. Okay, I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay, on the other side, again, I'm going to create places to put those extra pins, and I'm going to chain stitch down, put those spacers, and chain stitch down, and now I can do my windmill crossing. So 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, pin, 2 over 3, tension, tension. Okay, remember I was saying at the beginning that the pattern itself has the pattern itself has 10 beads, but I only had 8 of these pretty black beads, so I'm going to skip the first one and the last one. And if the same thing happens to you, all you need to do is just add an extra pinhole so you can make another crossing here. And that's what I'm going to do. So okay. 2 over 3 and over the chain, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3. Lift the chain, 2 over 3. Oh, let me go back because I'm going to put a pin there. Right in the middle, and then my 2 over 3. Tension, tension. Okay, I'm almost ready to put that first bead in. So windmill crossing, these 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, pin, 2 over 3, 1, 2. This is the difference, is I'm going to do fewer chain stitches when I have a bead, because the bead takes up space and the chain stitches take up space, and only the bead can take up the space. So you have to do fewer. So let me get these side ones ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and so I've done 1, 2 here. And now I'm going to get down to the same spot on the other side. So 1, 2, 3 on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, pin, 2 over 3. 1, 2. Okay, now I'm going to slide a bead into place. And I'm going to do a windmill crossing underneath the bead. So this one goes over, this pair goes over, and then 2 goes over 3. 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, lift the chain, 2 goes over 3 underneath. Then tension everything, and 1, 2. And now these can do a windmill crossing. Make sure everything is properly tensioned. One, 2. So I'm doing 2 before and 2 after the bead is inserted. I'm gonna tension and pull that tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that outside edge with this particular thread. I move these out of the way and I finish the other side. So remember it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now my windmill. Tension, 1, 2. Okay, I'm ready to slide another pin or another bead up. So here goes my bead. And I windmill. Again, this one moves over first, just so it's above the chain. 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, lift the chain, 2 goes over 3 underneath. Okay, and we continue all the way down. Okay, we're at the very bottom. We're going to do our windmill crossing here. And just like we did at the top, we're now going to cross all of these as though each pair was one. So we're going to chain stitch again. I need to, it's like I've already started it, so I'm going to go 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, 2 over 3. And I don't need to go too far, I just need to get as far as that last little dot would be, and I think that's far enough. So I'm going to take one of my threads off and tie a knot at the end, and that's just going to help that chain stitch not unravel while I need it to keep its tension right there. And I'm going to take the rest of these bobbins off the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So here's my chain that's in the middle, and here's the left side. So I'm going to windmill cross, and it's like that chain has already started. So, and I've just done 2 over 3, so it's 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, 2 over 3, 2 and 4 over 1 and 3, 2 over 3, and I think that's far enough. So I'm going to take again 1 off first, and tie a knot, just a 4 knot here, so that little bit of chain that I've created doesn't unravel. And I'm going to take the rest of these off. And now I can put that last pin right there and do a 4-knot, combining all of these together right by that pin. Yep, I'm gonna do, I think I did 5 at the top, so I'll do 5 on the bottom. 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to cut this off. I was just holding my, to make sure my beads didn't slip. And now I'm going to just a simple 3-strand knot, or not, a 3-strand braid. Now I can take out all of the pins and do the same to the top where we started. I flipped this over and I've pinned a little bit on along the bottom, so that when I'm tugging on the ends to make the braid, it doesn't warp the lace itself. I hope you enjoy making bracelets with this pattern. I would love to see what you make. I'm hoping that it'll be a nice pattern for making gifts and of course for yourself. So please tag me everywhere so I can see your beautiful creations. I'm at Galicia B, and happy crafting, everybody. Bye.